This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Good evening. I'm Amanda Starantino.
And I'm Mark Mullins. We start tonight with the latest on the coronavirus outbreak.
There are now 6 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Indiana. 1 each in Noble, Adams, Boone, and Marion counties, and 2 in Hendricks County. 5 of the patients are adults. 1 is a child. There are still no reported deaths related to the virus in the Hoosier State.
Across the country, there are at least 29 deaths and more than 800 illnesses confirmed. President Trump and Vice President Mike Pence met with top health insurance executives today. Pence says a major agreement has been reached regarding the cost of testing and treating COVID-19.
All of our major health insurance companies have now joined with Medicare and Medicaid and agreed to waive all co-pays, cover the cost of all treatment for those who contract the coronavirus. They've committed to no surprise billing, and they've committed to encourage telemedicine.
Health officials are warning Americans to prepare for additional disruptions to daily life. More major events are getting canceled or postponed. That list now includes the popular music festival Coachella. Concert promoters say it may be moved to October. The NHL San Jose Sharks say they will adhere to a temporary ban in Santa Clara County that prohibits gatherings of more than 1,000 people. The team is working on a plan. And the NCAA released a statement saying it continues to assess how COVID-19 impacts tournaments and events. The association says it's consulting with public health officials and will make decisions in the coming days.
And the coronavirus outbreak is also impacting education. Colleges and universities around the country are suspending in-person classes, including IU and Purdue. Today, Indiana University announced that students on all campuses will be taught remotely for 2 weeks after spring break. Spring break starts on Sunday. Right now, in-person classes are scheduled to resume on April 6th. And Purdue President Mitch Daniels says starting March 23rd, students must take their courses online.
Tonight, Indianapolis Public Schools announced all district-sponsored field trips are canceled through April 3rd. IPS says the decision is part of social distance strategies to help prevent contracting the virus. And Avon Community Schools is offering to-go meal option for students in need. So yesterday, the corporation announced it's closed for the 2 weeks leading up to spring break after 1 student tested positive for COVID-19 and another showed symptoms. Breakfast and lunch packages will be available to all families in the district Monday through Friday at the ACSC administration building. That goes from 7:30 to 4 o'clock. For the latest developments on the coronavirus outbreak in Indiana, the U.S. and the world, you can go to our website, theindychannel.com/coronavirus. And watch a special report from our Scripps national team, Coronavirus: The Facts, at 7 o'clock Friday evening, only on RTV6.
Do you think this is right? So all these people came here to talk to you. So you're going to force her to talk to you for you all? You're not going to answer any of these questions, sir?
Donna P-Traits over there will answer your questions.
Tense moments at another Northwest Hendricks School Board meeting, and this time no one from the community was able to voice their concerns to the board. The school board announced tonight it is suspending public comments at its meetings until further notice. That did not sit well with the large crowd that attended tonight. The meeting was the first since RTV6's exclusive story revealed more about the sexual misconduct allegations against Tri-West teacher Tyler Bruce. Former school employee Dave Pyatt was fired from Tri-West after he gave Call 6 Investigates surveillance videos that led Pyatt to contact the authorities about the alleged relationship between Bruce and a female student. Bruce is now on unpaid suspension and is facing child seduction and obstruction of justice charges. He denies the allegations. RTV6's Cornelius Hawker was there at tonight's meeting as the school board again avoided answering questions about the situation.
It's completely ridiculous.
That's how Cody Bruins and many other people feel about almost everything the Northwest Hendricks School Board has done since last summer.
There's a petition to get him overthrown, and there's a lot of people that don't like him, and they do a lot of corrupt things. I mean,
at this meeting, the board announced they would no longer allow public comments, something they say they're allowed to do by law. One person in the audience stood up as they ended the meeting fairly quickly after that announcement.
No, they will not answer that, folks. That breaks the law.
His question went unanswered. Board President Jim DiAgostino wouldn't answer my question either. All these people came here to talk to you. He slipped out the back, avoiding the crowd. Donna Petrace explains why they've ended public comments for now.
Quite honestly, nobody seems to be having any trouble getting messages to the board in any other form or fashion. We had business to take care of tonight. We wanted to take care of the business and move forward.
Donna even mentioned the recent COVID-19 outbreak as one of the reasons why public comments have been suspended.
And really didn't want to keep people in close quarters any longer than necessary, with Avon just canceling school with 2 COVID-19 cases. We're very cognizant of that and trying to be sensitive.
But many of these people, including Cody, aren't buying any of those reasons.
At the end of the day, the community's standing up and doing what's right, whether the school board likes it or not.
Working for you in Hendricks County, Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
RTV6 has been covering this story extensively since the beginning, from last summer's announcement of the investigation to last week's student walkout in support of Fire Attendant Secretary Dave Pyatt. Now, you can find all the stories we've done in the RTV6 app, our YouTube channel, and our website at theindychannel.com.
As the 2020 legislative session prepares to wrap up, it appears a proposal to ban holding and using your cell phone while driving will become law in Indiana. Today, both the House and Senate voted overwhelmingly in favor of the bill. Now it just needs Governor Eric Holcomb's signature, and passing this legislation was part of his agenda. The bill allows cell phone use only with hands-free or voice-operated technology. The Indiana State Teachers Association is reflecting on actions taken at the State House related to education. Teachers and schools will not be penalized for I-Learn test scores, but salaries are still a hurdle. ISTA wanted lawmakers to invest $75 million into teacher pay this session, but that will not happen. The president of the association says supporters can help make a difference in November.
This is an election year, and so our members and supporters of traditional public education in Indiana will be out talking to those who are seeking to be elected into the State House. We want them to commit to doing what is right by the over 90% of Hoosier kids that attend traditional public school in Indiana.
Governor Holcomb and state lawmakers are waiting until next year for a serious push to increase teacher pay.
Voters in 6 states made their voices heard tonight in the race for the Democratic presidential nomination. ABC's Inez de la Cuartera is in Detroit with some of the night's biggest takeaways.
On this mini Super Tuesday, Joe Biden, the projected winner in Michigan, Mississippi, and Missouri. The former vice president getting a boost from a string of big wins on last week's Super Tuesday and new endorsements from his former rivals.
I am so proud to be on Joe's team because Joe is on your team.
We will elect Joe Biden as the next president of the United States.
Michigan was the night's biggest prize. Sanders won the state in 2016, pulling a major upset over Hillary Clinton that showed his strength among white working-class voters. But this time around, Michigan helping Biden solidify his lead as the front-runner. ABC News' exit poll, which does not include those who voted early, shows 57% of voters said they would prefer a candidate who could beat President Trump. Michigan had a record number of absentee ballots cast this year, while at least 36,000 voters who voted early for a candidate who has since dropped out were able to recall their ballots and vote for someone else. Meanwhile, both candidates canceling planned events in Ohio Tuesday night as concerns over the novel coronavirus outbreak continue to grow. Sanders heading home to Vermont and Biden rerouting to Philadelphia.
And because of the coronavirus outbreak, we're now learning there will be no live audience at the Democratic debate in Phoenix on Sunday. Inez de la Cuartera, ABC News in Detroit, Michigan.
Thought I'd jump ahead, give you a weekend headline because rain may mix with some snow on Saturday. More on that. We'll fill in the days in between now and then.
IMPD wants you to know you could have what it takes to become an officer. New and next, we take you inside a program that helps citizens figure out if protecting and serving is right for them before making a commitment.
Prices at Ross. Yes, for less.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
If you've ever considered a career change, becoming a police officer could be an option.
IMPD is attracting attention from departments around the county for a recruiting process that transforms everyday civilians into applicants ready for the police academy.
RTV6 reporter Cameron Riddle takes us inside the Police Academy Readiness program, which could launch your career in law enforcement.
Joining a police academy is undoubtedly intimidating, so much so that it turns a lot of applicants away. That's why IMPD is leading the nation in changing the way it hires future officers, and it starts before they ever step foot in the academy.
Come on your heels, come on. There you go. All the way through. Come on, push past your comfort zone. It's a shock value involved with the first couple weeks of the academy. Some people are not prepared for that. So what we want to do is try to give them a glimpse in what it is to be in the academy the first couple weeks.
Get after it. If the police academy is like starting kindergarten, then Police Academy Readiness, also known as PAR, is preschool for police, an entry-level program where any applicant can start preparing for the physical and mental stress of training.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Some people don't understand that they're going to yell at you in the academy. They won't belittle you or demean you, but they're going to yell at you and get you prepared for the streets, to go out on the streets. So the intensity level, I keep saying that, the intensity level is much different down the hall.
Natalie Feist has been coming to PAR for the past year. She's among the recruits that will shift into the academy this summer. The senior at Butler believes attending PAR gave her the training for what she says is the most intimidating part of training to be a police officer.
Probably the mental toughness, because it's not really something that you can work on exactly. I've asked FBI agents, I've asked officers, I've asked people in the military, I've read books. That is the thing that is probably the hardest thing to prepare for, but it's absolutely something that you learn while you're in there, or you're supposed to. So that's the part that terrifies me the most.
Challenge each other, push each other.
Feist and her classmates at PAR meet every Tuesday, building a bond and learning lessons together. She says the program, offered only by IMPD, has showed her exactly what she needs to know to get into the academy.
I did not know exactly what kind of workouts I should have been doing up until I started coming to PAR. Seeing what they're doing in here was definitely different than what I was doing.
Working for you in Indianapolis, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
And on March 22nd, IMPD is hosting a recruiting event designed specifically for women. Any woman interested in law enforcement will get a chance to see what the job is about. You can find a link to IMPD's recruiting page at hiringhoosiers.com.
IMPD's Homeland Security Department wants the community to know it's ready to handle big crowds expected this week. The men's basketball Big Ten tournament starts tomorrow and goes through Sunday at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. And the St. Patrick's Day Parade in downtown Indianapolis is on Friday. Extra officers from various units will be on patrol. Police suggest you take steps to help protect yourself and your property.
If you're leaving anything in your car, leave it hidden. Put it in the trunk or something like that. Anything you leave that's kind of noticeable and someone thinks is of value, you could be subject to a theft on that. And again, just making sure that you understand some of the venues that they have restrictions on what you can bring in and not bring in.
Police say there are no targeted threats against any of this week's events, but as always, if you see something, say something.
Well, we had some rain still left over today and some cloudy skies.
Rain's gone. Clouds are still here.
Okay.
It was another windy day. I thought this was interesting. I was looking through kind of the daily log here for this month. We've only had one day this month where the winds did not gust over 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow will be the second day. The wind will be much calmer. Temperatures above average, but we hold on to the cloud cover. There's the wind, much lighter tonight, generally 5 miles per hour or less. Temperature in the 30s. Some spots just above the freezing mark up in Miami County, 35 in Peru. The cloud cover hangs in there, and with the wind coming around to the south and east, it'll keep temperatures from falling off too much from where they're at now. We wake up with temperatures in the 30s, mostly cloudy sky. By the time we get to late morning, about 46 for the temperature. We'll settle in the 50s, 56 for the afternoon. High temperature with clouds and the wind out of the south at about 5 miles per hour. That's the base temperature from which we'll warm up at least into Thursday. Temperatures across all of central Indiana above the average high of 49. Thursday, we'll keep our eye on this. Right now there's a marginal or low risk for severe storms, which does include the southern half of Indiana, but I think it's more likely south of the Ohio River into Kentucky and portions of Tennessee. 7 o'clock, then to Thursday night, you'll see the showers, maybe a line of some isolated thunderstorms entering the state. Terre Haute, Crawfordsville, Kokomo, and Peru. Our rain chances will start to increase in the afternoon, but I think that's the most likely time for the showers and thunder showers to move through. By the time we get to Friday morning, those will be moving out and cooler temperatures moving in. As you look at the weekend, Saturday, temperatures in the 40s for highs. Saturday night, we may have some snow mixing with rain at times as temperatures come back down. Another day in the 40s on Sunday, but we stay dry. Monday, 53 degrees, chance of rain minimal. Temperature jumps back into the 60s on Tuesday. As you look beyond and the 7-day forecast, beyond the 7-day forecast, temperatures continue above average really through the 24th of the month the way we see it now. And again, average would be in the low 50s at that point.
College hoops wrap up with March Madness, and the NBA season ends in June, but basketball will take center court in August. Basketball is the theme of this year's Indiana State Fair. Pacers Sports and Entertainment will combine its motto, "We Grow Basketball Here," with the fair calling it the state that grew the game.
We couldn't be more excited. You know, I've been part of the State Fair for all my life, grew up in Indiana, and it's just a wonderful opportunity for us to be back and be part of the celebration of basketball, where really, you know, basketball, while it wasn't invented here, James Naismith said he grew up here, so it's very exciting.
Planned attractions include a basketball amusement park and player meet and greets. The State Fair goes from August 7th through the 23rd. I think this might be like a fan favorite pick.
It makes sense. I think it's long overdue.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I'm all for it.
Don't you think it's long overdue, Brad?
It certainly is. We'll have to see how the food options go with once basketball rolls around. We'll see. Hey, how about a ticket to the big dance, though? The IUPUI women earning their first ever bid to the NCAA tournament. They won the Horizon League final today over Green Bay. Holly Hoopengarner led the Jaguars with 16 points. She was named most valuable player as well. They held Green Bay scoreless in the fourth quarter. They will find out their seeding and their opponent on Monday. Congrats to the Jags. Well, good evening, everyone. The Pacers won 4 out of 5 on their most recent road trip. 10 of their final 18 games are at home. They'll need as many of those as they can win to earn home court for the playoffs. The Celtics here tonight had won 7 of their last 9 road games, and they had a 16-point lead with 8 minutes to go. Pacers come back, though. T.J. Warren working hard for the and-1 start of the rally. Victor Oladipo had a great final quarter. The loose ball and the lay-in, the lead's down to just 6. Vic scored 12 of his 27 in the fourth. This 3 cut it to 3. The Fieldhouse was going crazy after that one. They would take the lead with 2 minutes to go. Domas Sabonis inside. He had 28 points. They had 1. Pacers had the lead. But the Celtics would have the final say ultimately. Marcus Smart drives and scores, and after that, they had the lead for good with some free throws to seal it. 114-111. This one felt a lot like a playoff game tonight.
I'll be better next time down the stretch. But, you know, overall, you know, we showed a lot of fight, you know, coming back. Wish we could have won the game. Unfortunately, we didn't, but a lot of room to grow. A lot of things we did well, a lot of things we could do better.
Pacers have a light playing schedule for the next week. They're off until Saturday at Philadelphia. They'll be back home next Wednesday against Golden State. They have 4 in a 6-night stretch at home, including a huge game against Miami 1 week from Friday. By the way, they play the Celtics one more time. That's in Boston on April 8th. The Pacers' getaway comes as the Big Ten men's tournament returns to Indianapolis. First time since 2016 it's been here. IU fans probably never expected the Hoosiers to finish in 11th place. But after Sunday's loss to Wisconsin, here they are. Indiana finished 9-11 in the conference. Is that good enough to make the NCAA field? Well, tomorrow's game against Nebraska suddenly looks very important in that nature. The Hoosiers won both times against the last place Cornhuskers during the regular season. A win would move Indiana into round 2. 2 against Penn State. By the way, Purdue plays Ohio State on Thursday evening as well. And the NAIA tourneys get started tomorrow. The Marion women are a #1 seed. They take on Voorhees, South Carolina at 4:30. The Taylor women, a #2 seed, they play at 1 o'clock. Over on the men's side, Indiana Wesleyan is a 1 seed and Marion is a 2. The 32-team tournaments wrap up 1 week from tonight. Good luck to all of those teams. Time for another break. More of the news at 11 next.
$1,600 purchase allowance.
An Indianapolis initiative is tackling 2 of the city's issues. Today, the Department of Public Works kicked off a litter cleanup program with people re-entering the workforce. Crews will pick up roadside litter, specifically in major traffic areas. It's a partnership between DPW and Keys to Work, an organization that helps ex-offenders find jobs. Officials say last year, Keys to Work staff members picked up more than 42 tons of litter across Indianapolis. And 52 of those staffers transitioned into full-time employment.
Living with a disability can also be a barrier when it comes to finding a job, even if you have the skills. Some employers view a disability as a liability, but Scripps reporter Annie Taylor found a Colorado business that does not see it that way.
Yeah, working there has really opened my eyes and made me more positive.
Avery Becker enjoys getting ready for work. His job has given him a new lease on life.
A lot of places just judge you on your outside appearance. They don't really get to know the person behind you.
Avery has a severe autoimmune disorder, which has prevented him from landing or even holding a job.
I have lots of medical things. I have a disease called Church-Strauss, which is an autoimmune disease that basically attacks all my major organs.
If he has a fever, he has to go right to the hospital.
While his mom and he worry that some companies view Avery as unhireable, his job at Brewability welcomes him and his ability.
We have people with autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, blind, deaf.
Tiffany Fixter, owner of Brewability, says besides being able to serve up a cold one, inclusion is most important. Last year, only 19.3% of people with a disability were employed. That's according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics.
I have applied to so many places, but they said I couldn't work there because I end up in the hospital or I end up sick.
They don't want somebody who could get sick. They don't want the liability.
Tiffany says taking on that responsibility allows her staff to shine.
We're all part of the community. Not one group should be put away and hidden from society.
Despite her employees' health being a determining factor on their ability to work certain days,
how's it going, ma'am?
Tiffany's learned to make it all work.
So I always try to pair someone that might have more medical needs with somebody with less medical needs, so that way we make sure that we have someone here.
Brewability offers their employees the chance to be a part of society in a way they never thought possible.
When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. It gives me purpose, and the fact that I do work with all these disabled people like me makes me less ashamed of it.
And that was Annie Taylor reporting. There are many businesses and organizations here in central Indiana that also embrace hiring people with different abilities or connect them to jobs. Groups like Ability Indiana, Help the World Foundation, and the Erskine Green Training Institute, just to name a few. You can find more information by searching our website, hiringhoosiers.com. We'll be right back.
For $78.
Anyone see my keys in there?
Thursday kind of sticks out because we'll be in the 60s. Now, I think the rain holds off until late in the day. It's more likely Thursday night into Friday when temperatures are falling on Friday. There's your breakdown. Tomorrow temperatures. Whoops, how'd that go? Oh, I hit.
Oh,
there
go
is,
again.
No, there is a backwards button.
What just happened? Just went back in time.
In reverse. I just
Is this
found
next
it.
week?
No, hang on. I'm going to go back to 1989.
That might be last week.
Wow.
Move it to May.
Doing?
And wow.
Wow.
That was perfect. Oh man.